Hello and welcome to the Riverside County Department of Waste Resources video tutorial for the Construction and Demolition, or C&D, Waste Diversion Program. In this video we will explain how to complete the Waste Recycling Plan, Form B, as well as its step-by-step process, requirements, and expectations. Please visit our website to find a downloadable unfillable PDF copy of Form B as well as other helpful planning documents, resources, and contact information. The C&D Waste Diversion Program is a county program designed to comply with AB 939 and the CalGreen Building Code, Materials Conservation and Resource Efficiency section. The program requires applicants to divert a minimum of 65% of non-hazardous C&D materials from the total waste generated from construction and/or demolition. Anyone applying for a building and/or a demolition permit within Riverside County will be instructed by the Department of Building and Safety upon application submittal to contact the Department of Waste Resources to determine if the applicant will be required to comply with the C&D Waste Diversion Program. Compliance with the program is completed in two parts, through Form B, the Waste Recycling Plan, and through Form C, the Waste Reporting Form. If you are submitting a Form B, then you are at the initial stage of the project and are in the process of clearing conditions on your permit. Prior to issuance, applicants are required to submit a Form B to demonstrate how they plan to manage their recyclable materials. Applicants are required to implement their plan throughout the construction and/or demolition process of the project. Now let's get started. For the top portion of Form B, please provide the date you are completing the form, include the month, day, and year. Provide the building permit number or numbers. If the project is a tract development, please include the tract number. Provide a project description, for example, additional dwelling unit, tract housing development, new commercial construction, single-family residence, etc. Please provide the project site address and include the zip code in the entry to the right. Provide the applicant and contractor's name and contact information. Lastly, please provide the estimated start and end date of the project, include the month and year. Please read and acknowledge the performance goals. Applicants are required to divert a minimum of 65% of C&D material from the total waste generated on site. For the next portion of Form B, each requirement must be read and initialed to acknowledge that you agree to comply with the conditions. The first condition once again restates that you understand the purpose of the Waste Diversion Program and will, to the best of your ability, meet the 65% diversion rate. The second condition states that each new subcontractor must be informed about the Waste Recycling Plan, are shown the recycling areas, and are provided with copies of these forms. If there is no designated subcontractor, then the applicant shall clearly designate recycling bins or stockpiles for project recycling. The third condition states that there should be a minimum of 2 bins on site, one for waste disposal and the other for the recycling of C&D waste. All projects will inevitably produce trash, which is non-recyclable material, hence a trash bin is required. A recycling bin is also required since a majority of your C&D waste will likely be recyclable. The fourth condition states that waste can be collected and transported in 3 ways. One option is to self-haul your materials. This means that you will personally collect and transport the C&D waste to a facility that will recycle the material. A second option is to contract with a franchise hauler for the project area. This means that you will directly contract with a franchise hauler and rent C&D specific recycling bins for the project. A third option is to work with the project or general contractor associated with the project to manage your waste. It is important to note that you are responsible for ensuring the contractor is aware of and implementing the approved waste recycling plan. The fifth condition states that prior to issuance of building permits, this form must be completed and emailed to the Department of Waste Resources at wasteplanning@rivco.org. The sixth condition is an acknowledgement that after the project is completed, a reporting form called Form C will need to be submitted prior to final inspection. This form is your report as to how your recycling plan went. The last condition states that Form C must be accompanied with evidence of waste diversion efforts. Evidence can be in the form of legible letters, original receipts, invoices, and/or reports, including certified weights for all materials being recycled, reused, composted, salvaged, and/or landfilled. The weight reported on these receipts will be used to calculate the diversion rate on Form C. For the next section, carefully consider the type of waste that will be generated from the project. It is important to note that all the material listed, except for refuse and trash, are recyclable. It is also important to note that projects will inevitably generate refuse and trash, so please be sure to reflect this in your plan. When completing this section, please check the box next to the material that you expect will be generated from the project and list the waste management method for each material. Let us use John's project as an example. His project will generate cardboard, concrete, and wood. He will check the box next to these materials and indicate his plan for each. Since all of these materials are recyclable, he is going to select recycle for cardboard and for concrete. However, he can choose to reuse the wood for firewood, so instead of selecting recycle, he will select reuse. Lastly, since generating refuse and trash is inevitable, he will also check the box next to refuse and trash and select landfill as the waste management method. For your own project, after deciding how you wish to manage your C&D waste, you will need to decide how you will be transporting the material and where you will be transporting it to. When creating this plan, choose a facility or franchise hauler that recycles your material and is able to provide you a receipt with reported weight. You will need to save and submit your receipts as evidence of recycling to obtain clearance for Form C. For this section, you, the applicant, or the project/general contractor have a few options. One option is to self-haul all your material, including trash, to a diversion facility. When you choose a facility, please write the facility name and city location in the fourth column, and write self-haul in the comments column. Be aware that not every facility will accept all types of C&D material. Please note that it is your responsibility to call the facility of your choice to verify they will accept and recycle your material. A link to a list of C&D recycling facilities is available at the bottom of this form. When you take your material to a facility, you must declare at the gate fee that your C&D waste is being hauled for recycling and ensure the receipts reflect C&D waste and not residential/commercial waste. This is necessary because you will need accurate receipts with reported weight when submitting evidence for your Form C. Receipts that do not meet these requirements will not count toward your 65% diversion goal. A second option is to rent C&D specific recycling bins by contracting with a franchise hauler within Riverside County. A list of franchise haulers is available at the bottom of this form. Please indicate the franchise hauler of your choice in the fourth column and write, contracting with hauler, in the comments column. When renting C&D recycling bins, you will need to ensure that the hauler is made explicitly aware that the bins are for C&D recycling and not for trash. Applicants may ask the hauler for a diversion tracking report where recycling is clearly noted. If obtained, then this report should be submitted along with your Form C. Another option is to reuse, compost, and/or salvage some or all of your C&D waste. Please reflect either of these options as your waste management method in the third column. Be aware that you must take photos of your material and submit with your Form C as evidence. Remember to also keep receipts for any trash that was disposed of. Lastly, please sign the form, and when you are ready, email the form to wasteplanning@rivco.org for review. Please allow 2 to 3 business days to receive confirmation of review from the department staff. After approval, the waste conditions will be cleared in our system. As the project develops and waste is being collected, please remember to keep all receipts for all waste, both recycled and landfilled. The final inspection will not be scheduled unless final waste clearance is achieved. Final waste clearance is achieved through the submittal and approval of Form C, the waste reporting form, which provides evidence of your waste diversion efforts. For any further questions, please visit our website, or contact the Department of Waste Resources Planning section via email at wasteplanning@rivco.org, or call 95148632200. Thank you for watching the video tutorial for the C&D Waste Diversion Program.